Hi there, my name's Andy Hillier, and today in this video I'm going to teach you how to play my arrangement of Haven from The Last of Us Season 1. It's a beautiful little song. I've done a full playthrough, a full cover, so if you want to hear what it sounds like, check that out. I'll leave a link in the description and a card above. In this video I'm going to teach you the whole thing, but just before I do, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier, give me a like on the video, press the notifications, and I'd love to hear from you, so please leave me some comments in the comment section. And if you love what I'm doing, you want to support me, support the channel, and you want to print the tabs off for this because there's quite a bit to it, then I'll put them on my Patreon page. I'll leave a link to that in the description. My guitar is in standard tuning. Now the first line sounds like this. So to play that, it's bass around E minor, first finger on A7. I'm using my little finger on the G9. My second finger is going to go to B8 and third finger on D9. And I'm not barring the first finger, so I've got the open E string available to me. Okay, so we play the A7 and the G9 at the same time, then B8, and then D9, and then open E nearest to the floor. So you got then the B8, then the D9, and then move your little finger to B10, then take it off and play the B8. So bar 1 slowly goes. Bar 2 is exactly the same. The only difference is on the second last hit where you play the B10, you're going to play another A7 at the same time. You don't have to do that, but I've added that in. So bar 2 slowly goes. Bar number 3 is the same as bar 2. And bar 4 is like just the first 4 notes of the rest of the bars, so it's the same, but you're only playing 4 notes or 4 hits. So hopefully that makes sense. So the whole line slowly. And up speed. On to the second line, and we've got this. So that was the first 4 bars. We start with the little finger on E12 nearest to the floor, and you're going to play the E string nearest to your face at the same time. Then B8 with the first finger, then open G. So you got. Then you can play the open E, strings to take the little finger off, and then play the B8, and then the open G string. So far you've got. E10 with another E in the bass, so the low E and E10 nearest to the floor, and then open G string. So bar 5 slowly goes. Into bar 6, and we've got so low E string with E7 at the same time, then B8, open G, then open E, B8, open G, then E7 and the E string nearest to the floor, E string nearest to your face, and then G string. So bar 6 slowly. And bar 7, it's a little bit awkward. So we play the D string and B10 at the same time, then E7, back to the B10, then open E. So you got, then play the G9 with the second, I'm using my third finger, then B10, and then I go to E7 and B7. So bar 7 goes. And then bar 8, B10, G7, then open E, and it does those 3 notes again, so another B10, G7, open E, then E7, and then 9th fret of the G string, so G9. So bar 8, so the first 4 bars of that line go. It then repeats back and plays bars 5, 6, 7, but you don't play 8 on the repeat. Instead you play bar 9, where you just rest your finger flat on the 7th fret and play 2 G7s, D7, then B7, back to D7, G7, then E7 nearest to the floor, then B7. So bar 9 goes. So you play bars 5, 6, 7 and 8, and then you play bars 5, 6, 7 and then 9. So let's just play the second time through. So we're going to play 5, 6, 7 and 9. We'll do it slowly. On to the next line, and it starts with okay, that's the first 3 bars. I'll borrow my first finger at the 8th fret in bar 10, second finger on the G9, third finger on D10, and we play the E8 and the G9 at the same time. Then D10, E8 nearest to the floor, then a G9, E8 nearest to the floor, back to the D10, then you're going to have to move and play E7, and then G9, so bar 10. Then bar 11, we've got, which is E5, B5, E3, G5, E2, G5, and then E3 nearest to the floor with a D2 at the same time, then an open B, so bar 11. Then bar 12 starts with the E3 and D2 at the same time. Then open B, open G, E3, then open B, E3, then up to E7, and then B8. So bar 12. So the first 3 bars of that line slowly go. And then into bar 13, we've got, so you've got open D string with B7 at the same time, then E5, G7, B7, G7, E5, B7, and then G7. So bar 13 goes. Onto bar 14, I'm borrowing my first finger on the 3rd fret. I'm playing A3 with B5, then E3 nearest to the floor, then G5, B5, then E3, G5, then we've got to go up to E7, and then B5. So bar 14. And then bar 15 is exactly the same. So hopefully that makes sense, that line. Just play through that once. On to the next line, and this bit's tricky. We've got... So we're playing E7 and the G8 at the same time, and then B10, and then we're going to play the open B string with A9. You could get rid of the A9 if it's a bit too tricky to get that. It would sound fine without that. And then open E, B10, then B, E, and then B. So we get... And then the next bar starts the same, but then plays B7, G8, B10, G8, B7, and then barring the first finger on the 7th fret, we're playing the E7, second finger on the G8 with B and E7 at the same time. Okay, so it goes, first 3 bars of that line go. And then the next 2 bars are the same as the first 2 bars in the intro. So hopefully that makes sense. On to the next line, and it's almost the same as the second line, but with a little variation. So we've got this. So open E string nearest to your face with E12, then B8, G open, open E nearest to the floor, B8, open G, and then at the same time we're playing E10 with a 11 on the G string, so G11, then open E. So bar 21 goes. Bar 22 we go to low E with E7, B8, G, E, B8, G, E7, and then G. So you get into bar 23, and we've got... So I'm borrowing my first finger on the 5th fret, playing E5, nearest to the floor, and A5 at the same time, and then a B7 at the same time as that. So I'm playing 3 notes at the same time. So A5, B7, and E5 at the same time. Then E7, E5, then G7, B7, E5, E7, and then B7. So we've got... And then into the next bar, A5 and B7 at the same time. And then D7, G7, B7, D7, G7, E7 nearest to the floor, and then B7. So the whole of that line goes. And on to the last line, the first bar starts, which is actually the same as one of the previous lines. We've got 8 on the E string and G9, then D10, E8 and G9 at the same time, then a G9 on its own, E8, and then D10, E7, and then D10. So you get. And then bar 26, we've got, which is E7 and D7. Then bar your first finger at the 5th fret and play G5, D5, B5, E5 nearest to the floor, G5, E7, and then B5. So you get. And then bar 27, we've got, which is E7 and G8 at the same time. Then B10, open B, B7, G8, B10, G8, and then B7. So you got. Then the last bar, we play another G8, and then A6 and B10 at the same time. Then B, B7, bar your first finger at the 7th fret and play E7 with G8, B7 and E7 all at the same time. So that last line goes. A slight row, slow down on that last bar. And that's the whole arrangement. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed that little guitar lesson. If you have, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier. Give me a like on the video, press the notifications to see when I get my new videos up. And I'd love to hear from you, so please let me know what you think of the new series of The Last of Us. Let me know if you've seen it. Let me know what you think of the song. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what you thought of my arrangement. Hopefully you've watched my other video of me playing it all the way through. And if you love what I'm doing, you want to support me, support the channel, and you want to print the tabs off for this, then I'll put them on my Patreon page. I'll leave a link to that in the description. Well, thanks for watching this. I do appreciate it. I've been Andy Hillier, and I'll see you next time.